Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and others. Welcome to Shoot. That was really bad. Apologies. I did not say that right. Let's just restart that. Hello, Point Park University and friends. Welcome to the Point Park Esports stream tonight. If you were here for the Rocket League game, thank you for staying in tune to watch the League of Legends game. We thankfully won the Rocket League game, so that was very nice against Messiah University, and now we'll be going against what is this?
UC Patriots.
Patriots. I don't know what the UC stands for, but that's all right.
I would risk a guess, but then I'm gonna look really stupid, so I'm just
Yeah.
not gonna risk
So
the guess.
if you weren't here, University Cumberland Patriots.
There we go.
I see. We'll just call them the Patriots here. So, since it'll be easier to say that and everything. However, okay, so if you weren't here in the last stream and you just tuned in for the League of Legends game, I am currently not feeling the best. I have a very bad cough, so apologies for the coughs and everything. Hello, Bryce. How you doing?
Well, I'm actually here for this stream. I'm not gonna run in late with Red Bull this time.
Yeah. Bryce came in a wee bit late, still just a little late, to the Rocket League game. So I'm glad that you're here for the whole time for the League of Legends game. Are you excited for tonight's League of Legends?
As excited as I can be. I'm hoping they can pull it off today, and they can finally break this losing streak they've been on.
I agree.
It's been a couple of rough weeks, so
It has.
I'm
It
really
has.
hoping
It
this
really
could be
has.
the week we kind of turn it around.
I'm really, I what's it called? What's the saying? I am really hopeful today. You know, the League of Legends game. Whoa, whoa.
Red Bull came out of
What the
nowhere.
heck? I
What?
literally was just doing. I was like, you know what? No Red Bull today. And then Red Bull comes out.
Wait, are you telling me the cans can grow wings too?
Yes, yes, they can. I've seen it with my eyes. I swear. I swear on it. I swear on it. I've seen it with my eyes. It flew like this. But yes, but Red Bull is very nice. Thank you so much for sponsoring us at Point Park University Esports. It's really helpful for just the beverage in general and everything else that you support us with this sponsor alongside RPC Video and Extron. Thank you so much for supplying us with just all of the utility that we use to give you guys the streams that you see today. Anyways, so what I sidetracked. What was I talking about? So essentially, we've been in a very bad win streak. Unfortunate.
Losing streak, but yeah.
Yeah. Just. Oh, did I say win streak?
Yeah, you said win streak.
Oh,
I
oh,
wish.
Lost streak, and unfortunately, we need a game. We need a good game. We need a win. At least bring the first game home. I mean, at least a game home,
Yeah.
right? So
that would be nice. I think we went 0-2 last week, if I recall correctly.
Mhm.
So we are not coming in this one with a lot of momentum, and we need to kind of turn that around if we want to.
Right. So I'm hoping that
Really get
this
somewhere.
week. I mean, I'm hoping that tonight we'll be seeing a switch around, a new type, a new. Let's see here. How would I say it? A new Point Park League of Legends team that we haven't seen before. Because recently we've been seeing, and in all honesty, the truth is the League of Legends team, although they were able to beat Leslie that first week, they've been kind of lackluster in a way.
And honestly, tonight I would honestly just take one win over the 3 games. But if we could come out of it with 2-1 or even 2-0,
Right.
why not? You know, and I'm really hoping we get to see a different side of Point Park tonight, and we kind of get to see that
Yeah.
because it's been a long road, and it's starting to get a little draining watching them lose
Mhm.
every week.
It is. It's really hard. Like for casters, although we're not playing, and I can only imagine how like the players feel as a caster watching this and commentating on it. It really makes you feel like, oh, I gotta commentate on the good and the bad, but I don't want the bad. I don't want any of that bad. Don't give me anything bad to talk about. And then you have to start talking about the bad, and it's like, oh, this is not good.
And we try to remain as unbiased as possible, but you can see our shirts. We're not really hiding it very well.
Were we trying to stay biased,
I mean,
unbiased?
We have time.
I mean,
we are
okay,
somewhat
well,
unbiased, but
now
there are moments, yeah.
I disagree with you entirely on that statement. I think we're meant to be pro Point Park. However, we're not supposed to dog on the enemy team.
I don't know. I've always thought as we're very unbiased, but we're kind of leaning Point Park, you know?
Yeah, like we're going to like acknowledge the good plays that come off from the enemy team, right?
Yeah.
We're going to say how what's good about them, that they're playing well, and then we can talk about what's bad about them. So honestly, I would say, I guess in a way, yes, we're unbiased, but like also we're you can't say we're unbiased if we're supposed to be leaning towards Point Park.
Yeah, I guess
You know?
that's true. I don't know. We're kind of like I think we're unbiased in statistics, but we're biased in morality, basically.
Yeah. You know, we've been on a little bit of a side tangent, so let's
we should probably
talk about the game of League of Legends. Today, we are going up against University Cumberland Patriots. We're going to be considering them as the Patriots for now because that's a very big word to speak of. Right now, we're in the drafting phase of the game. Oh my goodness, I'm like losing myself as I keep talking.
So
Please take over.
It looks like Point Park has picked up Vega and Scion, and the Patriots picked up Mel and Wukong, and there you go. Point Park just got Xin Zhao. So very early, interesting change. It looks like the Patriots got Orm. It's very interesting. I didn't expect Point Park to come out the gate with this kind of draft, but I mean, it's kind of cool. We'll see how they kind of play it.
Yeah. The Patriots having the Orin guy
Yeah,
from what I remember last time. Orin was a kind of a hefty guy, I guess. Like
yeah, he's usually played by Point Park, so it's kind of
Mhm.
crazy to see them not get him this time.
Yeah, but with that being said, since Point Park normally plays Orin, they'll have that knowledge of going against them.
Yeah, and
Right.
that's the bright side, going against them. They kind of know what they need to do because they played them, and that's a good thing. But I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting to see how this kind of team
Is that the
compares.
Wukong, like the legend Wukong?
You mean like the legendary rapper? Because I don't think so.
That doesn't even deserve a laugh. What?
Yeah,
What are you on about? I mean, like the legend. Apologies, the wrong, but the Chinese legend like thing with the
I'm not sure I understand
with the
what you're
monkey
talking
and
about.
his pole.
I'm not sure I know
Wukong.
what you're talking
There's a
about.
literal game of it that's like Souls-like or something like that.
No clue. I was thinking rapper when you said it.
Bro, this is some crazy.
And I know it's not actually how it's pronounced. That was the joke.
I'm already sick. You don't need to make me sicker, man. Oh my goodness. Well, we're still in the drafting
And
phase. So
there's
now
another
that we
one.
have our next character, is that Nico?
Yeah, I think it's Nico, but I can't fully tell you. I want to say it's Nico. It looks like it's like almost like a mermaid in a way, which is kind of cool.
Oh jeez.
And there's
Yeah.
the bear. We see that character a lot.
Yeah, Severe is definitely like a character.
That's a
I
point
mean,
part
I don't really know
comment.
what's considered meta and what's considered really good, but honestly, I'm gonna be honest.
I
With
see
the
that
amount of
character
time we've
so
seen
often.
Severe, I am probably I assume Severe is probably up there on the meta.
I'm just hoping we don't see the old spider, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, the spider or even flippin' Optimus Prime.
Yeah, I think
Either of those would be a
yeah, they are both scary.
apologies that we don't actually know the names of these characters. But yeah, those two have given a run for given Point Park a run for their money. We've been struggling on those two
And it
characters.
looks
It
like
feels
Point
like
Park got Leona.
we struggle up against these kind of trump card of legends that
Yeah.
we just have. What in the
And
world is
there's
that face?
Draven. We got all both
Whoa!
sides now, and yeah, that is a very interesting phase. I don't. I'm kind of. I'm gonna see that in my nightmares. Hopefully, Point Park can handle it for
It's just
us.
a little bit intimidating. Oh, jeez. And then Leona on the other. I'm on Point Park, so it looks like the usual two that I'm seeing. Sino, I think we also see normally, with Severe and Velger.
Yep. It's a very interesting team composition, and I'm very interested to see kind of how it compares to what we usually do.
Hmm.
Obviously, maybe it's a good thing we're going away from what we're used to because of our record lately. Maybe it's time
I
we
agree.
kind of
Try
look
something
into
new.
something new. And we've seen Severe, but everyone else there, I don't know if I've seen them yet. So
Yeah.
I think this is honestly a good thing because I think it's going to push us to a different level. I think it's going to be a strategy we haven't seen yet, and by that extent, maybe the opponent hasn't seen yet.
I agree. You know, let me be honest. There are a few things that Point Park needs to work on in the League of Legends team that I'm hoping we see occur here, right? One of those things could be maybe let me just like kind of list off some things that I'm thinking of right now. Right now I'm thinking that their communication with each other in any team type game. You need that communication, right? You need to be able to tell each other what you're planning to do because nobody can just read the minds, right? So, I imagine this communication, right, is going to be a big thing that we need to see more of.
Yeah, it's kind of like how when you play like a online game and you're with complete strangers versus if you're in a Discord call, If you're in a
Right.
Discord call, you're going to have such an easier time because you can say, hey, I'm going to do this. Can you back me? You can
Exactly.
work together. And I think if you can't get past yourself and actually communicate, it's going to be a lot harder to work together. And it just feels like when you're playing with strangers, which you shouldn't be because
Exactly.
you know each other.
Exactly. So I'm hoping in this game, in the game that we were about to see here, we're going to see Point Park actually play off of each other, work with each other, group up, disperse. They play like they actually know that what everyone is going to do, right? Like, even though they've established that they have a sort of quote unquote default position, right? Which is top laner, two bottom, one mid, and then the jungler, right? Even though we have that, they still need to converse and talk to whenever they need to play here, or if they're being threatened by the enemy team, right? Something else that I'm thinking that they need to work more on is something that I've noticed a lot recently in their game, having kind of awareness around themselves, which is kind of, I guess, in a way, the lack of awareness can lead to the lack of communication. Because if you don't know what to communicate, then if you don't know if you don't know what to communicate, then it kind of brings that down, right? So I'm seeing this kind of recently where their awareness of the things around them has gone a little bit iffy, where they'll push by themselves, not at all of like realizing, hey, wait, what if this one guy turns into five? All of a sudden, because they're all hiding in a bush, or or nobody on Point Park's team decides to sorry, nobody on the Point Park side's team decides to group up at the monster spawns, even though it clearly tells you in about this much time it'll about spawn, right?
Yeah.
And and in the first game that we had, like I think that's what we need to compare is the first game to our recent games, right? Our first game, we were very proactive. We got onto the spots preemptively to get control over the area because if enough people are there, they have that control, right?
Yeah.
And then when they disperse, they're willing. When they start attacking the monster, they have the kind of upper hand in that level, right?
Yeah.
And then like I don't know.
Well, what I will say is I think where we kind of struggle in communication, our players really excel in adaptability, and I think we see that in like just all across Point Break in general.
Mm.
You know, our Valorant team has great adaptability. Our Rocket League team has great adaptability, and honestly, I think our League team has great adaptability. We've seen it. You know, when they are, especially in, like the first game when they were down, and it looked like they were gonna lose and they were out, they came back. And we saw that in the second game. We saw that in the third game. I don't think we saw as much last week, but you know we've seen it. You know we've seen where they kind of
We've seen kind of a glimpse of it, and I'm hoping we see it. Actually, honestly, seeing it in a way is good and bad, because if you're seeing it, that means we as Point Park, um, are on the low and we need to adapt. But if we're on the ups, then we don't need to adapt. But it's still important that if we do end up adapting, we're not just kind of changing around and not learning from anything. We're just like kind of, oh, they do this, so we do this. Or if they do this, we do this. Adapting doesn't just mean responding to a problem with the same solution. It means
finding a new solution for the same problem.
yes, like growing and adapting so you don't have to deal with this problem in the future.
Yeah.
That this problem that you're currently handling right now, it's not just a solution, it's the solution to everything, right?
And I think a lot of that comes back to communication. We have the adaptability, we just don't have the communication to put it together. I think if we could get both, our team would be unstoppable. And I think that's what the issue is. That's what other teams seem to have. They have both the adaptability and the communication. And we kind of only have one or the other, and we kind of fall flat on the other end when we have one going.
Right.
So we need to find a way to mix them and use them in conjunction, and then we could talk about having a playoff run or even going as far as a championship.
Right. And another thing that we need to like kind of discuss is that Point Park has Point Park League of Legends team visually kind of gets less and less I guess what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for like prolonged playtime. You know what I mean?
They get less and less skilled as the game goes on, is what you're saying.
I guess in a way, yeah. Like they struggle more throughout like the longer the game goes on. Not just in one game, but the second game, and then if they ever make it to the third game, they start slowing down there. Like
and I
it
think
feels
we've actually seen that. You know, we saw it in week 2 against I forget what team it was, but it was week 2. We were up in the first game, but then in the second game we just fizzled out and we lost it, and then in the third
Right.
game, it ended in like record time.
right. Like we don't. One thing that like Point Park needs to work on also is their longevity. That's the word I was looking for. Like being able to continuously play throughout all 3 games at close or at least at max or close to max potential, right? And what I've noticed is like as the game goes further, you're kind of like losing it. It's like, well, what's the point in the second winning in the first game if you're not going to continue this on in the second? And if you guys are at a tie right now, making it into the third, what's the point if
Yeah.
you're not putting in your effort, right?
And that I think that's been their biggest issue. You know, they aren't putting in the effort to finish it when they have to. You know, you can be up all you want, but if you can't put in the effort after you're up and it falls apart, it's on you at the end of the day.
I agree.
You
I
have
agree with
you
that.
have to have the longevity and the ability to not just win one round, but to take it all the way and win the second.
I agree.
Especially
see
when
what
you're
you're
up one, you should not be losing the second one. You should find a way to pull it off because the moment you win the second one, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you even allowing the other team a chance to come back and get it into the third one? Yeah, I think that's a big issue with our team as well.
Yeah. I'm glad that you understood what I meant by that when I was saying that, because I wasn't entirely sure how to explain that. Um, Honestly, we've been saying a lot of speculative and kind of what we want to see from Point Park in this game, but I think if we really want to get the answers to those, we really have to just see that, right? So when the game does begin, we'll be able to at least commentate on what's going on.
Yeah,
Anyways,
there's only so much we can do as the commentators. We're not the ones out there playing. We're not the ones that need to make the difference. We
mhm,
can only state what we see.
mhm.
If they do not capitalize on it, there's not much else we can do.
And honestly, neither of us actually play the game. Neither of us really know much of the game. So I don't think neither of us are in the best position to really make the ultimate ruling. But honestly, I think as it stands right now, we're saying what we can that makes the most sense to us. And I think what makes most sense to us could genuinely be what needs to be handled with our enemy here.
Oh, and it
And it
looks
looks like we're
like
in here.
the game's
Oh,
looks like it's
so
been going for a little bit. Looks about like 4 minutes, so maybe there was some technical difficulties going in.
yeah, I don't know if y'all see this as well in the way that we're seeing it. It is a little bit, but
Yeah,
a
there seems
little
to
bit stuttery.
still be a
However,
little
that
bit of
I'm
technical
hoping that that's just gonna
difficulties.
be temporary. It does look like so far to catch you all up to speed. Point Park is blue team. Meanwhile, oh, there you go, University of the Cumberlands. Uh, I was originally going to call them Patriots. We're going to just call them Cumberlands. The Cumberlands are a red team. It looks like, as usual, Point Park's doing their usual almighty on the top. Ribeiro playing jungle. Gibby playing mid. Shalot and Soap playing bottom lane.
And yeah, that usually seems to work out for them. It's when they start trying to over adapt and change it that they kind of start to have issues. So I'm hoping they kind of stick to this for a little bit.
Yeah. So it does look like the Almighty does have some control over the top lane, did push them back. The Dragon has spawned, so we'll begin to see whether or not Point Park will be playing the monster running game, or if we're going to be playing more passively. Right now, nobody is going for the Dragon. However, it does look like the Cumberlands might be doing some other stuff.
And yeah, there
We're
seems
going to have
be
to pull
some
some back
technical
because of
difficulties.
that weird stuttering issue. Hopefully, we can figure this out before anything crazy happens. However, while we wait, Rice. What's the first thing that we're going to need to see from Point Park in the early game?
I think the first part is gaining that momentum and sticking with it. That's an issue they have a lot where they try to they have the momentum but then they draw back too fast.
Yeah, they like drop the ball
Yeah.
after they pick
You
it
know,
up.
we kind of see moments where they look like they're about to work together and then for some reason someone just goes somewhere else. And it's like how you going to win a 5-on-4? You need all 5 people there. And you can't pull someone away doing it, you know?
Yeah, it's a little frustrating, you know what I mean? Like the fact that we're seeing this kind of consistency of them doing something amazing, making this wonderful play. They have this momentum, they keep going and going, and then they just drop it. And it's not even that long between when they got the momentum originally. They just drop it that fast. And it's like, what? What? Y'all were doing so well. You guys had this push. You guys were ahead. Y'all were doing amazing. And then you guys just dropped. You were ahead, and I think it just partly because that with that power, they need to be able to manage it properly. And
And
we've talked about the
I
communication.
think there's a lot of times where one person also just like they think it's already falling apart, so they draw back thinking it's over, and that's what costs them. You know, they
Yes,
judge it
like
too quickly.
hesitation, lack of commitment. I think that's a big thing.
Yeah, and I think I've seen that a lot where you know there's like 5 people and then It looks like they're about to push for it, and then there's just like hesitation, and they pull away.
Yes.
And that's a huge issue because when everyone in the team thinks that you're going for that 5-on-5, and then one person leaves, it becomes 5-on-4,
Mm-hmm.
and all of a sudden, momentum's going away from you at that point. You're already outnumbered. You're outmanned pretty much, and you might get lucky once, but when you're doing that maybe 3-4 times a game, it's going to kind of come back and bite you. And I think that's kind of one of the biggest issues with Point Park. They just don't have that commitment that they had in maybe game 1 and game 2. And I think part of the loss in game 2 is kind of what did that. They had that commitment going into game 2, and
I
then,
think wasn't that the snowball match?
yeah, I think it was Bowling Green, yeah, and Bowling
Yeah,
Green kind of had
yeah.
like where they came in second round and just started just rolling through.
Yeah.
I think you're right, yeah.
I think that's important to notice too that in League of Legends, and I think we actually are getting our audio and our stream is also very is no longer stuttering, very beautiful. But essentially what I was going to say was what the thing is about League of Legends is the momentum that you gain. You need to be able to carry that because it's like a snowball effect. Once you finally get that momentum, you could just push your way through. But if you lose it, then you can't. It does look like Point Park and Cumberland is going to be fighting for the grubs here. Looks like Point Park is in the losing battle. Almighty having to run away here.
Is that the transformer that
I think it might be the
Almighty has?
transformer that we were going that was from last week. So I'm thinking there's a possibility that we're going to be seeing this kind of the Almighty being able to get a sneaky little elimination, still surviving.
Yeah, that
Very
was a
good to see. It
very
does
good
unfortunately look like Cumberland did get the grubs. Point Park was able to steal one of them. Looks like Point Park was able to get the dragon though, and Point Park is ahead by by one elimination of the four. Against Cumberland's 3.
And this is what I'm talking about. You know, you see this kind of momentum starting to go towards Point Park. But if history repeats itself, they're soon going to start hesitating. And that's where
really
it's going to go
ironic for you
against.
to say.
And I'm really hoping that doesn't happen. Oh, I said that on purpose. There's an inside joke, and we're not going to talk about that.
Okay, so as usual, what we're going to be seeing here is still in the early game. We're going to have to wait a little bit to see some moving. Ooh, someone channeling there. I wonder if Almighty's going to be able to catch that. No, unfortunately.
Well, they were in the bush, so you probably
Yeah.
just didn't see it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they played that one smart, and it looks like...
Interesting enough, already some switching of the lanes. Looks like Gibby has switched to the bottom lane. Meanwhile, Soap and Shalot are going to be playing mid lane now.
But you know what hasn't changed? The Almighty is still in the top lane, and that just seems like he just has such a monopoly.
He
up
is
there.
the rock.
He legitimately. I don't think he really often leaves the top lane. He's so often there. It's just because he's so good up there.
Oh.
Like, why would you?
Unfortunately,
move him?
getting stunned out of his stun, which is kind of ironic there. Oh my goodness.
And this is
Back
a
and
fight.
forth. It does look like the Almighty did lose a little bit of health there with that, I guess, a whiff of a ult. I mean, not ult, stun there.
Yeah, but it seems
I
like
wonder,
he came
I
back
think
from it.
what they've noticed, or at least Point Park noticed, is from last week's game, that Scion character, the one that Almighty is playing, the biggest thing that they had to go against was how often that stun just kind of completely halted the enemy attack. So Point Park going in this big push, the whole team, they get shut down because of just the hammer swing of an attack.
And yeah, that's kind of part of that adaptability I'm talking about. But that's kind of like, I don't know, it feels like reactionist rather than proactive. You know, it's reactive instead of proactive, and I think that's kind of the issue with them. They don't play it proactively, they play it reactively.
Speaking of which, the dragon has just spawned, and it looks like Cumberland was the proactive one in this state because they are already pretty much around the dragon there, preventing both, holding down both sides of the river here.
It's an
The big
absolute
fight going
here.
on, and yeah, Homeless Man getting an elimination.
It looks very likely Point Park's got the drawback here.
Oh my goodness, Soap gonna have to run away here.
They might just get so.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh,
oh.
unfortunately getting eliminated.
And if Charlotte's
I
not
think what big
careful, they
issue what
might
we
be
just saw
next.
there was Soap trying to get a little bit of a get some tick damage off, and unfortunately getting eliminated uh from that agreed.
And it looks like the Almighty had the pull away. He was getting a little low there. But
Yeah.
he did get some great damage against that tower on the way. And that's kind of an interesting thing to notice sometimes with these teams is sometimes they don't win the fight, but they do the damage. And
Yes.
getting that damage in can really change how the fight goes.
Right. So it does look like Cumberland did get that dragon, and again, what we were mentioning just a moment ago, Point Park getting this momentum, and then they immediately lose it. I wonder if this is if this is what exactly is happening right now, where they had that momentum, they were ahead, they got the dragon, they at least got one of the grubs, they were ahead, and now Cumberland was able to kind of push them off, get the dragon, and also kind of what visually looked like they were kind of winning that mid fight, right?
Yeah, and it's been really interesting to see, but there's still a lot of game left, and we'll see which side kind of pulls away as the game goes on. But you can kind of see it, that momentum starting to get away from Point Park, and they need to really step it up to stop that from happening.
Does look like we have a party of three at the top jungle here. They might be pushing around to get some picks off. We don't exactly know like who they're pushing after. I think maybe the homeless man they were pushing after for a second, but I think they're gonna have to run him back a little 'cause they're starting to get surrounded. The Almighty and
Right here. Oh, the stun!
yes,
That stun has done
what
a
is their
lot.
name?
I think it's Salinide,
Cyanide.
something like that.
Cyanide. We'll just say cyanide.
Cyanide.
So
It is.
it seems like Cyanide and the Almighty are in still like a pretty big brawl. Though Cyanide does seem to like kind of like um the best way kind of avoid quite a few of the Almighty's attacks, so it's a little worrisome, which is really big
Yeah.
with the Almighty's character with that hammer. You kind of make your plays off of the stun, right?
Yeah, and if you can't get the stun off, it's gonna obviously lead to a harder time for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very interesting seeing that kind of strategy being adopted by Point Park. I guess maybe they got tired of losing to it
Right.
and decided, you know what, we're gonna take your strategy and we're gonna use it ourselves.
So we just saw a spawn by the Rift here just spawned. It does unfortunately look like Ribeiro got caught in the jungle by themselves. The Almighty trying to come in to save the day. Soap getting eliminated as well. Cyanide taking that one.
And the
Ugh.
Almighty gets away, but yeah, they got
Almost the
they kinda got tired.
entirety of the Cumberlands are on the top jungle there. Gibby playing in the bottom lane with the God construct. Dang. That is a wow. That is a what's the word? Like intimidating name.
Yeah,
The
I like it,
construct.
honestly.
Like, dang.
It's really cool watching both teams kind of with their own strategies and
Yeah.
oh, a little bit
Does
of a
look
lead
like
up, but
Cumberlands did get the Rift
they haven't
Herald
gone the
this
other
time
way.
around.
Gibby here fighting now in bottom lane. It's really cool when the two sides meet up and it's just one on one. But I have to admit, I like the team fights a
No, the
lot.
Almighty getting caught in a 2v1 here. They're gonna have to push back a little bit. I think it's not necessarily a losing battle visually. Oh,
I'm not
I
entirely
think I might.
sure.
Oh, interesting.
Oh!
They're playing up at the top lane with their Rift Herald and Grubs, I see.
And they managed to take down a tower on the way down. That could be
Yeah.
huge for Cumberland.
It does mean Cumberland with the first tower down. Oh my gosh, and the Rift Herald was able to get a second bump into the turret. Oh dear.
Yeah, they were doing damage right now, but thankfully Almighty was able to beat the Rift Herald and is now pushing them back a little bit.
Yeah, was able to push,
It was,
like kind of withstand a little bit. A
Yeah.
very unfortunate, like kind of setup there. I think honestly, I'm hoping that doesn't shake it, Point Park up too much. I think that was just kind of they played Cumberland played that smart. They played up top lane. Normally we see like the Rift Herald and the Grubs, all that be used in the mid lane because the just being straightforward the distance. So I guess that kind of change of where they placed it was kind of threw Point Park off a little.
And it's very interesting to watch it back and forth here. But yeah, the fight's continuing, and another dragon is spawned. Obviously, Point Park will want to get that, but whoever gets that one will get the second one. It looks like Cumberland gets to the dragon first. Because it looks
Oh.
like three of Point Park just jumped one of the members of Cumberland.
It's the attack on mid. Oh, it does
And
look
all
like they
of
got
Cumberland come
backup
to
here.
back
It doesn't,
them.
unfortunately. Wow. Unfortunately, Godsunstruck did get elimination on Ribeiro. Another one
And it's
on
not looking great.
Soap.
Oh, but it looks like Almighty got one before going down.
Oh, but Cyanide was able to eliminate the Almighty. Oh, no, sorry. I don't know exactly what that meant. Cyanide did eliminate. Oh, they did. Cyanide did eliminate the Almighty in return. Looks like that fight was a loss for Point Park. That does mean
like
Cumberland
Point
is
Park's
able to
gonna get
take the
that.
dragon. Oh no.
Well, usually when there's a dragon thing going on, you usually want to keep an eye on Ribeiro. You know how he gets.
Yeah.
But it looks like he might not be involved in this one. Yep, no Ribeiro for this one, but I wouldn't be shocked if we see him again later. Yeah, he's very good at sneaking and stealing the dragon kills, so if we see him do that later, we know why.
So it does seem visually that Cumberland has gotten this momentum that they're up ahead. We're going to hope to see that Point Park is able to, I guess, fight back and that momentum and possibly create some push of their own in a bit here. With that dragon spawning and basically getting completely just handled by the Cumberland. Point Park kind of already behind by like maybe like 3-4 ticks. So it's a little worrying.
Yeah, it's very cool to watch this back and forth, and it's kind of calmed down a little bit, but don't be shocked when they meet up again. As we're kind of seeing, Charlotte and Soap are starting to push a little bit in mid. It's very interesting how this game kind of plays out, because it's really just like a test of momentum for a long time, and then one team just usually takes over.
Yeah.
And we've seen it so many times now and I think that's just how the game flows. And it looks like a bunch of Cumberland are ganging up on this monster now. I guess they're trying to get all the objectives here.
Yeah, right. Does mean this they're going to get this Thornbound. Point Park going to need to figure. Oh, Point Park is going to push up there to see if they can steal it. They're going to be attacking physically. Oh, very close. It does look like. Oh, unfortunately, Cumberland was able to take the Thornbound. It does seem like Charlotte was
Now
able to
the
get
train
two
kills.
homeless repeat taken back with that. Noisy getting elimination on Charlotte.
And it looks like Point Park might actually take
Oh.
the advantage here.
Let's see.
It looks like Point Park has kind of won.
Oh no,
but
Gibby,
it's
run
not-
away!
It's not a great
Unfortunately, getting eliminated by Cyanide.
win. It does look like they're gonna win it in the end, but it has been back and forth.
That should be an elimination
And this,
on
and they're
Cyanide
still
here in a
fighting
second.
here.
It's
I don't
two
know, man. It could go
big
either way.
tanks here. Oh, he failed. He missed
And
it.
they are just fighting all through the jungle right now. But it looks like Cyanide got away.
Yeah.
It was a great fight. I think Point Park slightly in favor on that one. They managed to get 4 out of 5, and Cumberland only got 3 out of 5. But it was very close. They traded a lot of kills there.
Yeah. Okay. What do we
Yeah, we're
see
still
now?
close.
We're going to have to see.
It looks like Cumberland's just focusing in on the monsters again. Like they seem to do a lot. That seems to be their strategy over here. And oh, Point Pug managed to get a turret though, while Soap and Sherlock got ganged up on by 3 of the other team. And oh, another turret for Point Pug. Point Pug is starting to gain momentum on the turret's end here.
Right?
And that's a big deal. That could very well give Point Park the win. We've seen that kind of from them before, where they might not look like they're winning in terms of objectives, but when you see the turrets, they are. And it looks like that's not going to be the case here. It's like about to tie it up to 2-2. Still a very good fight so far, and we'll see. We'll see who can take it through with the win here. And yeah, it looks like 3 of the Cumberland players are now teaming up. It's been an absolute fight. What are you thinking about this?
Honestly, what I'm thinking, like, the biggest thing, what we need to see more of for Point Park is that they need to play more, I guess, together in a way. Because because they are grouping up together and pushing these fights together. However, I think the speed at which they are doing it is a possible issue that they need to fix. They regroup and they push instead of pushing with the mind of regrouping at the same time. So it just seems like by the time they get there, either A, someone's already there trying their hardest to stay alive, or multiple are there but not enough of them to be able to really make a difference in the scenario, you know?
Yeah, and it's very interesting to see, and I'm really interested to see if they can kind of come back because at the end of the day, when it comes to Point Park, the number one thing is teamwork. If they cannot work together, it don't work. If they can work together, it works. And that's just the bottom line with their team. And it looks like Cumberland gets the 3rd dragon. They already are 1 off of the big boost now. So Point Park might want to be careful if another dragon spawns in this game.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Yeah, it's been a back and forth game though, and you could tell Point Park is trying their hardest to kind of take it back from somewhat down right now. It's kind of worrying. And I'm very worried to see if they can kind of come back from it. And now Homeless Man is following PPE the Almighty, but he decides to turn around. No, not entirely sure why he did that. Yeah, it's very interesting seeing these 2 teams play because it still mirrors a lot of the issues with Point Park, where they just can't get that momentum going. And they
Right.
can't seem to work together very well. And unless they can kind of find a way to fix that, this one might just go the same way as every other game they've had so far.
Right.
But yeah, it's been back and forth, and oh, they're starting to push here towards the towers again. This is not good for Point Park. Thankfully, Gibby's able to repel him for now, but they better hold it down or this could be really bad really fast. And they're going after the Void Serpent now. This could be even more boost for Cumberland. And I think that's what we're starting to see. They're starting to outpower the Point Park team. They're slowly building up on levels, and they're starting to get all the boosts that are kind of pushing them forward.
Right.
And that could become very bad for Point Park going forward. And it's a kill from Ribeiro. But they're pushing right down towards the tower, and it's not looking good. And another Point Park turret is down. This is bad, man. And if they don't step it up soon, this could be real. This could be another loss to start out this 3 series game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not looking great so far. Looks like they're channeling back. They must feel a little bit anxious about their health. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they need to do at this point. They're falling behind. They don't have as many dragons. They don't have as many boosts. And they're starting to really fall behind on kills too. And yeah, the main thing is I just don't know if they've been in the jungle very much. Like we keep seeing Ribeiro in mid. which is not normal for him. Usually he's going through the jungle, and another Point Poke turret down.
Oh, big fight going on in here.
And it's all on Point Poke's side, so if Point Poke doesn't win this could be really bad.
Yeah.
And oh my god, there goes Gibby. They're being pushed back. And the Almighty maybe pushing a little too far. And it might be big. This might be a big deal. And there goes Soap.
Does mean
Another
Rivero's
Point
left by
Poke tower
himself.
down. There goes one of the Point Poke inhibitors. It's
Oh,
looking
no.
really bad. The other team is really starting to push. And there goes another Point Poke tower. And another Point Poke tower. They are really pushing in, and there goes Point Poke losing the first round.
Oh, wow. At 30 in 29 minutes, 28 minutes.
Yeah, that was a really fast game.
Yeah.
And at the very end, it was crazy. Because Point Poke just completely fell apart.
Yeah, it just, like, the momentum kind of disappeared and then they just fell out. You know, I think what we need to do first for a little bit is take a momentary break just to think about what just happened there. I don't really know exactly how to explain what we witnessed. It just felt like they had the ups and they lost it, and it just kept going down. So we will be back with a break, and when we come back, I guess we could do a little bit of conversation about the game, and we can get into the next game. Thank you for coming. For the meantime, goodbye. my god. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, so basically, I'm not feeling so good. However, you know what my daily medicine is? Red Bull. The sponsor of today's stream. Thank you so much.
See,
If you're feeling tired, like I am right now, if you're not feeling well, like I am right now, if you're just wanting to get a drink, like I am right now, you get yourself some Red Bull. Thank you so much for sponsoring us today. Anyways, so, oh, actually, hold on. Reminds me of something. Like Extron and RPC Video. Thank you so much for sponsoring us as well, for providing us with the materials we need to keep doing this stream. So thank you so much. Anyways, let's actually get back to League of Legends. Let's talk about what exactly we saw last game.
well, I think a lot of it just came down to like the very end. You know,
Mhm.
we had it, and then it just like fell apart.
Right? Like,
But the game was looking like we were good. Our momentum was okay. We were surviving,
mhm.
and then just like in the final like minute or so, it looks like we overextended,
Excuse me.
and the other team capitalized on it, and it just fell apart, and everything just went one by one. Because really
Right.
going into that, we weren't even like down 2 towers. We were down maybe a couple dragons, but not enough for even the boost yet.
Yeah.
It looked like okay, we could still make a comeback. But then all of a sudden, the other team just started steamrolling right down the middle lane.
Exactly.
Took down a tower, took down another tower, took down the inhibitor, and then took out everything else after, and we were done.
Mhm.
So I feel
So
like
I think so. Are you saying basically it was okay? It was doing okay, kind of like a back and forth until that overextension.
yeah, and
Right.
I think it comes back down to our adaptability and communication. You know, they tried to over adapt, they didn't communicate enough, and it all backfired in the end. And I think
Yeah.
that might have been the fastest loss we've seen all year. Now it's crazy. We saw one
Actually,
really
no.
fast earlier on.
It was 15 minutes that last one.
Huh?
It was 15 minutes that last one.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was like 28.
No, it was 15 minutes. This one's 20. Like this one was about 28 minutes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're doing a little.
Roughly short
Look,
game is what he meant.
My point is, even if it's not statistically the lowest point we've had this season,
Mhm.
that's pretty bad. Like 28 is bad. So the fact that that's not the lowest point, I'm even more shocked now.
Yeah, honestly, I think the thing is what we just saw there was just kind of like a momentary kind of lapse of judgment. It's important to push out, right? Be able to control more space in League of Legends, right? That's what kind of learned in Valorant is when you get more control of space, like more space, if it gives you more like area of opportunity. You
I
can
don't think it's just a Valorant
so
thing. We
no,
see
yeah,
it in
yeah,
Rocket League,
like
we see it in League 2, we see it in every
yeah,
game.
honestly, like
Any team game, if your team can control the space,
mhm,
if they can work together, if they can communicate, if they can adapt, 9 out of 10 times, they're going to be the better team.
right?
But if one of those four things does not happen, then the other team has something they can use against you.
Exactly.
And
I
that's
think
what we saw.
yeah, and the fact that we overextended meant that we captured more space, but we didn't really fully control the space that we had before we kept moving forward, right? And I think that what we saw here is that, and also just kind of an understanding that, or not understanding, just kind of couple mistakes of each individual player, you know?
Yeah, and I think the way I would compare it, because I make a lot of comparisons to the NFL, I've done it multiple streaks now, but the way I would compare it, if you look at like an NFL defense, right,
Mhm.
they're going to have these cornerbacks, correct, on the field. And when the quarterback goes to throw the ball, if the cornerbacks are not controlling the part of the field they're on, the wide receiver's just going to catch the ball and run all the way to the end.
Right. Yes.
So that's what they need to do. They need to not leave that much space. They need to control what they have. We call it zone defense, where you control a zone. That way, if the ball goes anywhere in your zone, you can be there. If you go out of your zone, and you don't have control over the zone you're in, it's gonna fall apart. Anyway, we begin the draft and we see Braum go to UC, and we see us get Wukong and Racken for Point Park. I think Wukong was on the other team last time, so we took one of their players.
Oh, that is actually very true. Uh, what's it called? What's the best way to explain this? Kind of like first round we took we took like that Scion character, like the Transformer guy, and used it in our team comp. We're doing that with Wukong now this time, right?
And I think this kind of goes back to, when, at the beginning of the stream when we talked about how we like to adapt, but we don't really we adapt, but we don't really fix the issue to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like we're adapting by taking that player, but in reality, did we really fix the issue to begin with, or are we just taking that player because that player just beat us?
Right.
And I think that's kind of the question that we need to be asking. Was that actually a play that's gonna put us to win this round, or is that
Right.
just to stop the other team's strategy? Because playing reactionary versus is, as we said, proactively. I think it's better to play proactively than reactively
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day. Because if you're playing proactively, the other team doesn't know what to expect. If you're
Yes.
playing reactively, they can just pretty much control the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
Honestly, we've actually seen that last game as well. Like the exact thing that occurred. Like Scion, that character was such a powerhouse that we were struggling against, and the plan was to ban him and prevent him from being able to be played. However, unfortunately, they got to choose first, so they were able to choose Scion. So it's kind of like unfortunate, unlucky. However, in response to that, what we did was try to get characters that could quote unquote deal with it, right?
yeah,
But that's not being proactive. That's being reactive
yeah.
because we play off of what he does. What he does, we try to stop. And unfortunately, just that wouldn't have occurred if we had the chance to be able to ban him because we were planning to. However, unfortunately, with what we saw, it just didn't end up working. Speaking of which, I think
Well, I
they
think on
just
top of
actually
that,
just what's it called? Cumberland just banned Scion, so I don't think they liked Scion on our team very
well, I
much.
think on top of that, when it really comes down to it, part of the strategy that you should have is finding something that makes them become reactive.
Uh huh.
If everything you do is reactive, you're not going to find anything proactive, and therefore they don't have to react.
Yes.
Therefore, they can keep steamrolling with new strategies, and you're left thinking, where did we go wrong? And that, I think, is the biggest issue with Point Park this year. Too often they're playing reactively and not proactively.
Mhm.
And I think that might honestly be the reason that we might not win this game. So I'm hoping that I'm wrong and we can find some way to make them fair us. But if we can't, I think it might just go the same way as last round.
Yeah. It's just really the big thing is that we need to switch up it's not even a strategy. It's just kind of the way that Point Park has been playing is very well reactive. We don't really make the plays. And without making if we're not making plays, we're just kind of trying to stall.
And I think a good way to compare it is to look what they're doing this game and compare it to what we saw earlier with Rocket League. Yes, they
Right.
played a little bit reactively. They reacted to what happened last week, but they did it in a proactive way. They
Right?
found a new strategy that showed more aggression, but they didn't fully just try to react to the game before. And I think
Mhm.
that really changes the dynamic of the game, you know? If you all you do is play reactively, you're not gonna win many games. If you play proactively, you can force the other team to make the mistakes you've been making.
Right. I agree with that a lot. It's kind of like the big thing that we've noticed here. It well, like I think, and that's honestly, I think that's what we've hit it right on the money. Exactly what's going on. That's like kind of the problem that we're facing is this reactive versus proactive strategy, and we need to play more aggressive.
Yep.
And I think that's the solution. play more aggressive without overextending. I think is that important, right? Because well, we lost last game by overextending, right? So, ooh, you alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
Uh,
Saved it.
so we ended up losing because we were overextending last game, right?
Yeah.
So we can't overextend. Sorry, we can't be aggressive like without thinking. You know what I mean? If we're not thinking before we push, then we kind of just let everything go downhill, right? Because then they get the opportunity to react with their own things, be able to take over, and just kind of because you're not backing. If you're just like kind of recklessly pushing, you're just not really backing it up with anything, right?
Yeah, and I think that's a huge part of it, you know. And I think we've seen that so often, and I think we
Hmm.
need to see something different from them. We need to see that click, or we're not gonna win many games, and I think
Hmm.
that's the issue.
Yeah,
And I'm
it's
really
complete.
hoping we can fix that. So
Yeah. They're getting ready to play their game. I see. Honestly, I think what we need to see. So when we see this next game, we've discussed that they need to be more proactive. They need to be more on it and just do more, I guess, aggressive things. We talked about how we need to see them, I guess, more visually communicating with each other, right? The connections that we need to see them do. And we also talked about how we need to see just, I guess, confidence, right?
yeah,
So,
confidence, teamwork, communication. Those are the big things.
yeah. I mean, that I guess all of those lie underneath the word team.
Yep. And it's very interesting to see, but yeah, I'm really just hoping we can kind of fix that and get out of our head a little
Mhm.
bit with it. Because I think that's a lot of it. We got into our head after our first loss this season, and we just haven't gotten back to what worked.
Mhm.
In the first game, we showed we had what it took. After that, we lost the second game, and it just like spiraled from there. And I think in order to get back to what was working the first game, we have to get out of our head. We need to work together, and we need to kind of do what was working.
Right. So, okay. Let me be serious for a second, okay? Completely serious. Completely serious. We're not going to win this game out of luck. There needs to be something that changes, right? So, Point Park needs to do sorry. Point Park needs to change. They need to switch up their strategy. They can't keep just kind of pushing themselves this way and have nothing to come out of it, right? Because if they continuously do the same thing over and over again, they're just going to end up doing, they're not going to make any progress, right? They're just kind of throwing paint at a wall and hoping like something happens.
And then I'm really hoping we can kind of get out of that mindset because that's really just slowing us down, and it's not allowing us to do what we need to do.
Right. Anyways. Uh, okay. You know what? I need to take a break with my throat because it's actually kind of a little rough. So I'm gonna let you talk to me, and I will respond to you with like signs or like
Science.
moving hands.
Science.
Okay, so give me like
Uh,
yes or give me yes or no questions, and I'll
oh
respond to
god.
you in yes or nos with thumbs up, thumbs
Okay.
down. Obviously, I'm not going to use my mouth.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yep.
you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. So first things first, do you think there's any chance that we can come back here?
Hmm.
I'm not gonna use my mouth and then proceeds to use crazy sounds. Was that part of the plan?
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay, okay, got it. So, are you ready for League of Legends? Are you ready to see if we can win this?
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
Alright, this is a more simple question. Does Red Bull give you wings?
Mhm. Mhm. Mmm. Mm, mm, mm. Oh. Mmm.
I'm sorry for all of you that have to listen to this, but if you're listening only, put down whatever you're doing. Just look at your screen for 5 minutes, okay?
Mmm. Mmm.
Okay. Um, this is tough, man. I'm not very good at talking to myself, but
Mhm. Mm, 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 mm.
okay. Um, so would you agree that teamwork is the number one thing? Communication's also pretty high in importance, and then after that, it's just getting it done.
Mm, 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 mhm, mm.
See, this is really hard because I need to try to figure out why, but I don't know how with that. With yes or no.
Mm. Mm. Mhm,
Red Bull?
mhm, mhm. Mm,
What about it?
mm.
Two
Mhm,
Red Bulls.
mhm,
Got it.
mhm, mhm,
Uh huh.
mhm, mhm, mhm,
Talking to the Red Bull. Got
mhm,
it.
mhm, mhm.
Oh, okay. Why are we talking the Red Bull? It's a drink, man.
Mm, 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 mm,
Why are
mm,
we
mm,
talking the Red Bull? It's a drink.
mhm, mhm,
I understand.
mhm, mhm,
I understand it
mhm.
gives you wings, but there's no reason we need to make wing symbols with our hands, man.
Mhm, 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 mhm,
What are we doing?
mhm,
What are
mhm,
we doing?
mhm, mhm.
Yeah, what is happening? You good?
Talking to each other. Mhm,
What?
mhm,
They're talking to each
mhm,
other? Are you okay?
mhm, 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 mhm,
What
mhm.
am I watching?
Mm, mm. Just like, uh, it's like,
What?
wh-
Okay, it looks like they weren't talking to each other, and therefore they fell. Am I right?
precisely.
Oh wow! So now we want to talk. Got it. Well, that was a weird segment.
Listen, I gave myself a break. I needed a couple seconds of like
Fair enough.
not really speaking out because my throat started like genuinely getting close to like it was rough.
Yeah, that's
But
fair enough.
the noises I was making were fun.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah, I thought
sorry,
so too.
sorry about that little segment of me being weird.
Don't
I
worry, we talked about Red Bull last time.
Yeah, we got to talk about Red Bull. And I think that's really important right now cuz Red Bull is the sponsor of Point Park University Esports. Thank you so much for sponsoring us. This is the third time we've talked about our sponsors. Very interesting.
I think we
And
just really like Red Bull.
I think we just really like Red Bull. Well, thank you so much for sponsoring us, Red Bull. Life gives. Thank you for giving us wings. Thank you for giving us the Red Bull supply that we could ever ask for. And thank you, Extron and RPC Video, for giving us the materials and utility that we need to be able to make the streams that you see today. Thank you so much. Anyways, let's get back into the game.
And here we go. That was a great transition, man. I was very much enjoying that.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So we are on the red side at this time. It does look like nothing's changed. Nothing like too drastic occurred. We're going to still continue the usual default positions of every player here.
Yeah, and it's very fun to watch. You know, we'll see how they change it up this time. You know, are they going back into what they do best, or are they gonna change it up some more? That's what really needs to be seen.
Wait, because we don't really understand how the the characters very much. You know what I see the Almighty playing as? Can we see when it gets back to the Almighty in a second here?
It's back.
We're gonna notice something about the Almighty that might be kind of pushing into this territory of. Look at it.
Oh, he's the spider.
He's the spider. So.
Oh, that's game changing, or it
So,
might just be us being reactionary again.
Or maybe that's not that might not be the spider. That might just be a different character
that
entirely.
might just be a completely different
But
spider.
I think it could be the
I
spider.
think it is because I remember it having those turrets.
Yeah. So essentially, it looks like Point Park is using two characters that that we've seen before on the enemy team. This spider guy, and also Rivera playing the Wukong.
Yeah, but again, it just goes back into that reactionary issue, and I feel like that's just like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Urgot. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the spider's known as Urgot.
Oh, Urgot, the spider daddy.
See, I wasn't gonna mention that part, but I guess you can.
I'm willing to say the word, and it looks like Spider Daddy gets the first blood.
Nice.
Yes, we're seeing some interesting play here. Point Park University getting the first elimination of the round. We're seeing some push
Oh.
here. It looks like a big
Oh,
fight
big
here in the
fight.
center already.
They
Interesting.
are not wasting time.
It is
right
a
after
3v2
each
for
other.
Point Park on this side. It does look like who is that? Sorry, Ruka.
Yeah.
I forgot my glasses, so I don't actually see anymore. But Ruka was basically eliminated there. They were able to escape alive.
Yeah, it's very fun to watch them, and I understand what you mean. Man, without these glasses, I don't think I would be able to read anything on the screen. There's some
Oh.
really small text on this game. And
Ooh, kind of
okay.
teamwork effort by Ribeiro.
Point Park is coming out here very aggressive,
Right?
and I
I'm
feel like
seeing
that's kind
that.
of different than what we're used to with them. And
Maybe they're like kind of looking for revenge of what happened last game.
I'm hoping that's them being proactive, as we've been saying, and
Right.
it kind of changes.
Speaking of being proactive, I believe the dragon should be spawning fairly shortly here. So I wanted to see if Point Park will kind of preemptively gather around the dragon and get ready to control it. You know?
Well, something I notice a lot with Point Park is they always seem to get the first dragon. Every game, I feel like I've seen them get the first dragon. It's after
Yeah.
that they kind of just like struggle to get them, and I don't know what it is. Feel like at the beginning they kind of focus on that, and then they slowly just like they just forget,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like they need to kind of find that fire throughout the game
Yeah.
and go after it more. Because if you're not even gonna try, you're obviously not gonna win.
Yeah. So the dragon has just spawned, and it does look like neither Point Park or the Cumberlands are kind of pushing for that dragon. Ooh, actually, we might be clearing some space here. Gideon might be working on it. God Construct is pushing around there. Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, they're getting
There's
assisted
help.
by the homeless man. That is a interesting sentence.
See, that's the fun part about what
The Almighty and Cyanide playing up atop again. Cyanide does look like they're playing the same character.
Yeah, I always love like the.
Oh,
the
it's switched around a little bit. Point Park is in the lead of characters in this little fight here. Oh wait, where did the one go?
See,
One of them just left.
and that goes back to what we were talking about with Point Park, where they just don't commit. You know, it looked like they were all there, and then one just left. Like we see that so often with them, and it feels. You probably think at home we're just saying the same thing over and over again, but it's just what we're seeing. It happened repeatedly over and over again. It's hard not to say it over and over
Goodness,
again.
this fight between
it's
Cyanide
constant.
and the Almighty is getting a little close here. It's going to, and it
Oh.
looks like the Almighty was able to get Cyanide at the top field. It looks like another big fight going on in this bottom jungle here. Ooh, oh my goodness, it does look like the Cumberlands was able to get the eliminations on that one. Wonder
It's
if,
very close yet again. And no one has taken the dragon yet. It's just been
Yeah.
sitting there, you know?
actually, speaking of which, it looks like there might be a possibility that the Cumberlands is going to be working on it right now. I don't know exactly which one that is. The homeless man is working on the dragon. Nope, never mind. Oh, never mind again. They were about to channel back to their spawn. However, I think they're just gonna walk their way back over there, through the jungle there.
Yeah, it's very interesting just seeing what they do, because it's like, why is no one going after the dragon? It's been there.
Right.
And you think that'd be like the first thing you'd go for when it spawns.
Right.
Because you get 4 of those, and the other team might as well just
Oh, I
call it.
think that's actually what's going to like it just feels like they're avoiding it like the plague. They don't want to deal with it, you know?
And it's just weird because you would think that would be like the #1 priority.
Ooh, Ribeiro did use
Wow.
just notify in 17 seconds the void grubs are gonna spawn. Ooh, I think that might be the plan where they split up, choosing whether or not they want to go for the void grubs or the dragon. They're just gonna split like yeah, you know,
Yeah, and it's very interesting. We'll see
bait
which
out
way it
one, get the
goes.
other, you know.
Yeah, we'll see which way it goes, and
Oh my goodness.
it looks like the fight continues in the north. The top lane just sees these two fight a lot. It's always fun watching All Muddy in the top lane because every time he's out there, it's a brawl. Doesn't
Right.
matter who the other opponent is, it's always a brawl. And yeah,
Does
it's
look
back
like
and
Point
forth.
Park is surrounding the void grubs a little. Does look like the homeless man is going to be working on the dragon. So I think they're probably going to get the dragon. Meanwhile, Point Park is going to get the void grub.
Yep, and it's a big fight here, but they're trying to pushing in.
There you go.
Oh,
Point Park got the void grubs here.
oh,
I wonder what's going to happen with the dragon. I haven't seen a message yet that the dragon... Oh, actually, never mind. It just happened. The dragon got eliminated by the homeless man.
yep, it's been back and forth, and they're just gonna keep pushing through. See who can come away with it here.
A couple pings going on. I think some assistance is required in the bottom jungle there. I think Gibby is going to come up there to help Soap out a little. Oh, I see what's going on. This is some residue over the dragon that was that they just captured. Most of the Cumberland's actually playing in this bottom area here. Meanwhile, Point Park is just kind of playing up. Ooh, it's another big brawl. Ooh, a nice stun going down. Shalot playing really heavy here, getting some couple stunning off. I think sorry, Ruka
It looks like Point
does look
Park
like
is
Point one.
It's actually working together
Yeah,
now.
they won that one. They are pushing Homeless Man and Noisy. I think they're not going to be able to finish that off, unfortunately. The Almighty and Cyanide are going to be fighting again here.
Yep.
Oh, they're really close. The health isn't looking too great.
And it's just back and forth as they keep pushing.
Unfortunately, they're gonna be able to take some health off of this, but unfortunately, that shield existing, I mean that protective plate is going to
Yep.
slow that down a little bit.
And that's why you usually see a lot more turrets fall once the turret plating goes away.
Right, right.
Until then, it's kind of slow and back and forth and methodical to kind of fill out the other team. And then the moment the plating falls, that's when the true action begins.
It's true. It's kind of like the when the turrets fall, that's like the like signal that mid game has started. You know.
Yeah. And then the moment you see one team start pushing, that's usually the sign that we're in late game.
Right.
And kind of starting to see both sides continue to just fill each other out here. It's gonna be close. So go ahead.
Right. So I'm seeing these like, kind of quite a couple like nice plays. A couple of nice plays going on by Point Park. It looks like they're playing together. They're being more proactive. The aggression that they're playing against, they're calming. You saw that with Soap, requesting that help and on the map there, like, hey, I need help, and they almost immediately got the help. And I think once they got that help, they were able to eliminate one of the Cumberlands.
Yeah, I think we're starting to kind of see that communication starting to kind of click between them. You know, they're
Right.
actually working together. And that's kind of one of the big points we made today. That's been a big issue with them. So if they can kind of get that going again and start working together again,
Yeah.
they might be able to kind of do really well here.
Frustratingly, it does look like the Almighty is forced out because Cyanide was able to get some assistance by I don't know which one that was. Was that the homeless man? I think that was the homeless man.
Back and forth.
Oh, now that the homeless man is gone, it looks like a fight between the Almighty and Cyanide. Ooh, the Almighty's very low. However, the Cyanide might be able to.
It doesn't look like the Almighty's too keen on leaving. He keeps wanting to fight.
And the Almighty is very committed to be able to get these eliminations. Oh my goodness, very close. It does look like. Oh my goodness, almost.
But
Oh,
they get each other. It was a double.
it was a trade-off. The Almighty
Nice.
was eliminated by Cyanide, and at just and however the Almighty being inside of the turret range, Cyanide after doing that attack did get eliminated. It was a
Yeah,
trade-off.
It was a very smart play by Almighty, understanding that maybe they won't be able to get away, but they'll be able to get that trade off and keep their team
Right.
ahead.
Wow.
Here we go. They're all attacking another. There's a big fight going on again in bottom lane.
Oh,
And this
Mr.
just happens so
Sandcastle man here. Oh, Soap getting caught off guard there.
And
Soap
the
does
turret
play the
plating is
support, so they
soon to
can't be like
fall.
they can't afford to just be placed like that. Oh, it looks like 3 on in mid lane here.
Remember when we said that that was about the midpoint? Well, the turret plating is soon to fall.
Mhm.
And that means we're about middle of the way in blue. Who do you see kind of pulling ahead here?
Looks like Point Park still playing pretty strong here. Though it does like okay, the turret plating has now fallen.
And it's still really just close. I don't know that they did a lot during the early goings of this game.
Right.
It's been very back. It's just been back and forth. Both sides keep backing down when something really goes down.
Right.
And it's
And a
kind
little-
of showing in the kills. There's only
Yeah.
been 8 total deaths so far.
Ooh, Soap was able to eliminate Noisy. This is a big
And
fight
there's a
going on around the
big
dragon.
fight
They're
over
going
the
to see who's
dragon.
going to get it. Does look like Point Park is taking over. I think they have control over the dragon. They're going to focus up on it. Don't over focus on it though, because it does look like
And
they
they're about
might.
to steal.
Ooh, nearly
just
they attempted
enough.
that steal, but it looks like the Cumberlands weren't able to do that. They're going to have to run away
Yeah,
now.
They tried to steal Rivera's tactic. We've seen
Yeah.
that from a few times this year. And they were trying to do that to him this time.
Yeah.
But it didn't pay out.
Ooh, close. Some eliminations almost did occur. Ribeiro barely making it out alive. They got caught there. I think they got a little overheated and started pushing by themselves there, getting punished kind of hard there.
Yeah, I know. It's a good thing they were able to realize that they needed to back down and they got out there just in time.
Right.
They at least stopped the other team from getting a needless kill. So yeah, it looks like Cumberland's pushing, but Point Park there just in time to kind of push them back. And that's kind of what we've seen a lot in the early game, where both sides they kind of get that small push, and then they just get pushed back. And that kind of back and forth style is kind of something we've just been seeing in general from these two teams. We have to wonder though if it's going to kind of lead to what happened last game, where it's back and forth, and then one team overextends and the other takes advantage.
So we did just get control. So the Riftfield has spawned. So I wonder if Point Park is going to attempt to capture that one as well. It does look like Cumberland is going to take it though. Did not give them very much time to be able to try to fight for it. A lot of control at the bottom lane. There's 3 of them here. I mean, 3 Point Park players down there.
Well, it looks like one of them decided to pull away. Oh, no, they can't back.
They're gonna actually focus hard on it, being able to take down the first turret of the match.
And they're trying to push things in the bottom
Ooh.
lane right now, which is kind of taking focus away from other lanes.
The Almighty is playing mid lane this time.
The bottom lane, they took out the turret and then they kind of wisely backed off.
Ooh, God Construct getting caught. Ooh. Oh, unfortunately getting saved by Cyanide. Oh no, run away! Oh my goodness, what just happened?
It looks
The
like,
Almighty got like sucked into a void by the God Construct.
yeah, that was a big play by him, and it kind of helps keep them from completely getting stalled out on kills.
Right.
It's once again the fight's continuing, but it looks like Point Park being the aggressor
Oh my
here.
goodness, God Construct just barely making it out alive in
Yeah.
these fights here. They just need to see like maybe 1 or 2 more hits on him.
And it looks like
Oh,
they
no.
might get a turret back. And they did. There's a turret for Cumberland. And that's kind of what we've been seeing a lot, where it's just like one gets a turret, the other gets a turret. They get another turret, the other team gets a turret. And it's just like, it keeps happening. So it's kind of interesting to say that. I feel like we have a very evenly matched game here. Both teams seem to be very similar in terms of strength. And yeah, it's kind of just we're starting to kind of see it though, where Cumberland's kind of winning in the boost again, and that might become a kind of an issue when it comes down to it. Because remember that happened last game, and that kind of allowed them to punish Point Park's overextension.
Right.
And it's kind of once again just back and forth, and that's just and it's kind of interesting to think. Point Park might have more kills, but Cumberland has like 2K more, or about 1K more gold. That's something I kind of noticed. They kind of are leading in terms of gold. Just keep pushing back and forth. Neither team taking the obvious advantage, and it looks like
Oh, the Riv spawning. I wonder
summoned.
which lane this was in. Can't really tell from the map.
Yeah, I still can't really tell. I have no clue where they summoned it.
Oh, actually, it's bottom lane. I mean, top lane.
Top lane?
Yes, top lane.
Interesting. We'll see if it makes a difference or not.
Oh. Oh no, and Gibby's kind of a layer alone with Cyanide kind of holding it. They're gonna need support up there, or else they're gonna lose control over that turret. Oh.
They did a lot of damage with it, and there we go, the final hit
no.
from Cyanide, but he better back off, or we might not make it out of there alive.
The big fight going on in mid lane here is a 3v3.
Yep. And I think that was them trying to slow them down just enough for Cyanide.
Kind of like
to
a
finish off the
distraction
top.
of sorts. It was power. It like kind of worked in the way.
Yeah, it really did kind of work, because I think a lot of them were trying to push towards top lane, and they kind of got stuck in middle lane because of that fight. And it allowed Cyanide to kind of take advantage in top lane.
Does look like the Cumberlands do have control over the what's the word? The river, so they will be able to
Not
get
good.
yeah, so they will be able to probably focus almost entirely on that dragon. The homeless man basically just going for it.
It looks like the
Thornbound did get spawned there. Right beside the dragon, actually. Get it. Ooh, it looks like Point Park is. Oh, it's back and forth. Cyanide doing some, like, tank stuff, I guess. God Construct almost eliminated. Does look like Point Park slowly getting eliminated. Oh no, God Construct. Even they just don't die.
That was
my
a great
goodness.
play by Cumberlands. They're kind of catching up now on kills with that big list of kills they just got. And
Oh no, getting
Construct out
caught.
of nowhere.
This player, God Construct, they just don't die. Every time they're so low and they just get away and still get the chance to do some damage.
And
They
all
got
of
the
a
range
sudden,
to do it.
It looks like Point Park might have overextended again, and now all of a sudden, Cumberlands are back in the game again. Yeah, and looking at the turret's health, they might take out another turret before Point Park can even know what hit them.
Yeah, Cumberland's was able to get that dragon. They have control now.
Yeah, that is looking very grim for Point Park as Cumberlands is starting to really pull ahead again. This is exactly what we saw in last week's game, where the other team was pulling ahead in their levels. It's happening again. And that could be really bad for Point Park if that continues. And it looks like they're kind of fighting in this river again. These two teams do have a lot of group battles, it seems.
Yeah.
It seems like they really go out there and just test each other every second they get in these team battles. And if one team gets caught lacking, the other team is really good at capitalizing on that.
Yeah.
And again, it's just there's always something going on. These two teams are very action-packed when they play against each other, it seems. And there's God Construct fighting Almighty up in top lane. And Ribeiro getting attacked in the river. And here comes Soap for support. But it's starting to become a big fight in mid now. Oh my god, it's an absolute brawl again. Everyone's
Another
here
brawl.
in mid lane.
Oh my goodness. This is a big fight back and forth. Does look like the Almighty getting the first fight elimination on this. Another one. Oh, looks like Point Park might be winning this one. Oh no. It's like a back and forth. Get control. I think Point Park might have won this one.
Yeah, it looks like they
Oh
might
no. Oh jeez. The last two running away. Almighty and Gibby kind of chasing after them.
It looks like they might have gotten the win, but it was very close.
I think
They only got one more
honestly
kill.
no. It looks. I guess technically yes, because Point Park.
Oh, but maybe Point Park's here to capitalize on it, taking out a turret on the way out. Very big play by them.
Yeah.
And they're kind of drawing back now, understanding that they need to take a second after the heavy losses. Now that everyone's kind of starting
Right.
to spawn back in.
There was a big fight there that just occurred. I think that kind of tied things up a little bit, kind of pulled us back up a little. Maybe Cumberland fell down just a tad bit from what they had against us.
Yeah, but
So
it's still
I think
really
like
close.
overall what really happened was we didn't really win or lose in the scenario of how many players were left because it was 2-2 that survived that. However, the two that survived on our team were our kind of damage dealing tanks, which was the Almighty and Gibby. And those two being kind of the damage and the just the damage.
Yeah.
They were able to take down a turret without really worrying about anything. And clearly Noisy and Ruka, they had to run away because if they stayed, they probably would have gotten eliminated.
Yeah.
You don't
because
got
they
that
were-
hold.
Oh,
Ooh,
and that's
speaking
who's
of
getting
which-
up here, and there goes
Oh
Shalon,
no,
and
Noisy
Stope
did
is
get
in
eliminated in
trouble.
one.
And here comes
Ooh.
Almighty, but it might be a little
Ribeiro
too
coming in to
too late.
Oh my goodness.
They took out a couple there before the West Point Park could come save the day. And it's, that's what I think Cumberlands do well. They manage to pick you off when the rest of your team can't get there in time. They catch you slipping and then they take advantage of it.
Exactly. The Baron did just spawn.
And then it
Noisy
looks like
and
immediately
Homeless
on-
Man are taking the Thorn something. Can't remember. Thornbound.
And I think that just goes back to what we've been seeing all game, where Point Park really it doesn't focus in on those objectives, and it kind of comes back to cost them a little bit.
Yes.
Starting to see kind of a push in top lane, but also kind of a push in bottom lane in a way. There's just a lot of pushing all across the field by the Cumberlands, and they're kind of just trying to. It looks like they're trying to finish it now. They understand that if they win this game, it's over. So they are being aggressive, and they're playing it head on.
Right.
And it looks like it might come to help them as they take down
Get
another turret.
They have strength over the mid lane here. It's going to be a big
And
push.
Shabbat's down.
He's getting another elimination. Gibby having to push back a little bit. Soap coming in for support alongside Ribeiro and Almighty.
And they
Did
manage
push
to
back
push
that
them back.
push.
Oh.
Oh, wow. The punishment.
Yeah, it looks like they were able to push them back slightly, but it was not without some losses on their end, and it's just like back and forth right now.
Yeah.
Once more, these teams to just continue to play back and forth and playing each other very well. And yeah, we're kind of seeing the Almighty and Soap kind of working together now. A little bit of an odd pairing. Usually we see Soap and Shalat,
Yeah.
but they're working together here, and it looks like Point Park decided to focus in on the Dragon, which might be a big play because it does put them up to 2 as well.
Ooh. Point Park did get the dragon here, and they do have control over this little area. They might be able to get this.
Oh, but Almighty being ran away, and they actually got a turret while Almighty went down. That is not good. And yeah,
It's definitely
not-
more kind of close game that I'm seeing here.
I don't know. I feel like it's close in some aspects, but in other aspects, I think Point Park might honestly be losing it. Because look at their towers. Cumberlands have taken out 4 towers, while Point Park's only taken out 2. And at the end of the day, we've seen games where the team that has more towers usually wins the round.
Right.
So Point Park needs to really exert themselves, especially now that we're losing the Void Serpent too. How much longer do they really have before numbers just catch up to them?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's one of the main things I think Point Park doesn't focus enough on. They don't focus on these objectives, and they're slowly getting outnumbered.
Right.
Eventually, luck's gonna run out, and you're just gonna be outmatched.
So I am looking at the levels right now. We do see Cyanide at level 16. That is leagues ahead are Soap and Shalot. And most importantly, the Almighty's level 14.
I,
That's really bad
I,
comparatively.
I see what you did there. Leagues ahead.
Yeah.
And they
So
take down another turn. It's
this is
happening
a push
again.
down mid again. We're going to see if Point Park is going to be able to fight back on this one.
This is exactly what happened in the last round that gave Cumberland's the win, and we'll see if Point Park learned anything or not. And so far, I'm not sure they have. They're getting pushed back. There's a little bit of a mini fight between the Almighty and I think it was
Homeless Man.
Homeless Man. So yeah, it looks like there's a little bit of a fight there, but it might not even matter. They just took out Point Park's inhibitor and they're pushing deep into Point Park territory. And we see that so much with this team. You know, it looked like it was so even a minute ago.
Right?
But now all of a sudden they're just in their side of the field and they're pushing right for the finish. They are now just one away. They took down all the turrets that are on the way down middle.
There.
And they are winning. They're winning the fight. It might just be over, man. It's not looking great. And it's
There you
over.
go.
Point Park
That's
has
it.
lost another one.
Point Park University's loss streak is increased tonight. Let me get a sand. Oof. Ah. That's unfortunate to see. Really painful. Honestly, the best way I could explain it is we tried. We saw improvement from the first game to this game. However, I don't think it was enough.
I think, again, it just comes down to the same issue we keep seeing over and over again. They play too reactive and not proactive. We saw it. They had two players that were from other teams that beat them.
Right?
Instead of developing their own new strategy, they're trying to play strategies that beat them, which is reactive. It's not a strategy they know well. It's not a strategy that they win with, but it's been going against them time and time again. And they keep doing that. And I think until they get out of their head, until they realize that, hey, their strategies are just as good as the ones that are against them, they're never going to get these wins.
Yeah.
You can't play reactively when everyone else is playing proactively. It just doesn't work.
That's unfortunate to see. With that being said, thank you for coming in to watch Point Park League of Legends game. If you would like to watch the Valorant streams, I think there is going to be one Friday, and I think I don't know if there's one tomorrow, but there's one tomorrow. There's going to be one tomorrow, probably around 7 o'clock, and there's going to be one on Friday or around 7 o'clock, and that is Halloween. So if you do end up coming to that one, you will be seeing the casters possibly be dressing up. I think that's what the plan is. The casters are dressing up, possibly even the just cast everything. Maybe. I'm hoping that'd be a lot of fun if we got to see that. So thank you for coming so much for watching us play League of Legends. Unfortunately, we lost this match, but hopefully the next time we play a game, Point Park League of Legends team, they work and figure something out. But thank you so much for coming. I'm Kago.
Alright, Tankzilla.
Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye, and please come back again.